Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Wednesday the 1st of May. So let's start looking at the euro dollar. Before we do so, just to remind you that France, Germany, Italy, there's quite a lot of countries there are on a bank holiday today. So I would expect trading this morning to be lighter for sure. But good news is later today we have the Fed funds rate, Fed statement, and indeed we should have a press conference yet at 7:30. So it's going to be a rear-ended action here by looks of things. In terms of price action, I would imagine on the basis of the markets being lighter this morning, it will be light in terms of movement. We'll see. Could still get a bit of volatility, but I expect that volatility mainly to come later on. Now, of course, Fed rate, Trump has managed to already say something. He's been harping on about how they increased their incessant interest rates has caused a quantitative tightening. Well, if that be it, at least they've got some easing to do, unlike a lot of other countries which haven't tightened too well and will struggle when it comes to creating any easing. So where to then? Euro ran into the 21 as expected yesterday, eventually got there and had a reaction. Now that reaction was a bit timely, and it immediately came off, and it came back towards the 4-hour 50 and 30-minute 34 and things like this. It came back to some support and immediately it dilly-dallied around and then bounced. Now I do wonder on that basis whether that's had that action, we've seen that action, or whether we will get a rollover today. But if we've seen the action, well, it could well push for the next sort of level at 240, 200. Daily wise, daily 50 maybe. Is sitting there at 1275, so that would be the next sort of bigger picture. On the 4-hourly, 1260 is sitting there. Coming down to the an hourly, which isn't an hourly, it's a 30-minute chart, so I'm going to just switch this across, but you can see on here it came back to the 34 or 6200 actually it came back to now. So it's just consolidating where it is at the moment, and we may get more of that. We've got the daily pivot underneath, which could be a draw. I'm just watching this carefully. That draw could also be a bouncing spot for another push up. I am expecting it to consolidate mostly today, though with possibly a bit of action, but mainly consolidation through to later this afternoon, when we may see people taking up some positions or getting out of positions, whichever. Pound, well, the pound had a stonking day yesterday, technically put. Again, they both actually run back to their monthly pivot levels here. Now the pound, again, it had a bit of a reaction, consolidation, so we're seeing that sort of movement. Well, it's not really pulled off very much, so perhaps there's a lot of strength still in the pound, or potentially, and we could see a push on. Now we've got no bank holiday today in the UK, so there will be currencies traded and the big London banks will be trading, but as I said, I would imagine it would be quite a bit lighter. Unless anyone else has come into play. Now a break of the monthly pivot may see us run down towards the daily pivot there at 130. A key area of the 130 has been for a long time, but carved through it yesterday. But we could see it coming back, as I say, for that area if it breaks. But otherwise, as it's sitting in the moment, I am expecting it to push up further towards a 240, 200 maybe at 30.79. Daily wise, what we got above us still, we still got that 50 above us at 31.03. So there's a couple of targets to the upside if we do get a sort of a move today. Now, of course, with the Fed news later on, that could just blow all those targets and push on if it's a dovish old Fed. We'll see. Euro yen, dollar yen even, dollar yen, that's the one. It's continued as much as bullish as I can be. It's still slowly coming down, but it is very slow and it's very small movements. in real terms. Even when the others were pushing down quite strongly yesterday, well, I guess it moved 40 or so pips, but nothing to compare to what we saw in the pound and the euro. Overall, what we're seeing here, bit of a push up at the moment, but it has put lower highs, lower lows in there on this 4-hourly picture. Could it push on down further? I was talking about the 200 and things like this yesterday. Let's just come back to the dailies. It's really daily wise. It's only got the 100 left below it. Other pictures, well, so the downside, it's got nothing on the 60-minute time frame, so it's a free fall apart from previous support. So if it does roll the trend line, there's a trend line across the lows there. If it rolls through that, maybe it will push on down towards the S1. But again, with the yen, I would expect lighter volume. The holidays in Japan would probably affect that. Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar didn't really manage to gain it. Keep a hold of its gains yesterday. It rolled back. I say gains, it started with losses. It's chopping it like a good nut at the moment, and these 4-hour bars sum it up perfectly in terms of lack of movement. It could be traded between the highs and the lows, just literally ranged base trading it as potential. It may roll back towards that sort of 70-34 area again, where it seems to have some demand, but overall I'm bearish on it in the bigger picture. New Zealand dollar data was pretty weak yesterday as well, which might have a sort of a knock-on influence. Canadian dollar sold off strongly. Or should say the US dollar stroke Canadian dollar sold off strongly. Again, back to the pivot there. So continuation through yesterday. Really quite a solid move eventually in that 4-hour period. Where to from here? Where it's consolidated but then broke lower, but there is a divergence that sits around at these lows here. Do wonder if it'll pull back up. It's not a currency I generally like to trade in the mornings. It tends to cheat you somewhat at times. I mean, yesterday it did actually roll past the trend line, roll over back towards its pivot, and it's in trend. I would probably wait for it to do something similar. By the time it's done that, it's probably about midday-ish by the time it would get back to that level. But you could trade it back, but it may just never get there. It's got the 21 to come with before. So, as I said, some of the better moves, if you look to it yesterday afternoon, stroke evening, UK time, that's when the solid move came through on the Canadian dollar, much later than the others. Okay, that's pretty much it for me. As I say, well, we have got a bit of news on the pound this morning. You've got manufacturing PMI. Used to be a bigger mover, but it seems a bit lighter these days, but still sitting at relatively solid at 50, expected to come out at 53, but that's a fall in expectation from the previous figure. So if it comes in less, it could see a softer, we could see a softer pound. If it comes in stronger, well, it adds to the sort of hawkish tone that we're seeing with the Bank of England. Side of that, we've got net lending to individuals at the same time, and then really we're at 115. We've got non-farms, ADP non-farms, which is a smaller mover, but it may get a bit of volatility around 115. But really, it's oh, sorry, I saw the US manufacturing PMI data at 3 as well, so maybe get another little kicker there before the 7 o'clock big action, or big-ish action, he says. I can't build it up too much. Last time we did that, it flopped. Actually, last time we traded it late, it did a lovely flop for the euro, so we'll see. Anyway, we're seeing these moves against the dollar at the moment. Maybe people are getting bearish on the dollar pre-meeting, which sell on the buy on the news in this case. Right, okay. Have a great one. I'll be back later.